Bienvenida a nuestra Cocina Mexicana. Welcome to the Mexican kitchen here. Today we're going to do a complicated recipe, something to accompany our song Sins of the Father. So we're going to do Sins of the Father, Pollo Mole Negro. Pollo Mole Negro. Pollo Mole Negro. It's a Oaxacan dish. It has a lot of ingredients. Let's look at them here. We have chiles. We have Mexican dried chiles, Pasilla, Guajillo, and Ancho chilies. Those are going to be toasted and get all the flavors going. Then we have lots of nuts. We have almonds, pecans, walnuts. No mole. Well, some moles don't have chocolate, but ours is a negro, which calls for chocolate. We have Cacao Nibs from Panama, from the jungle in Panama, and some bittersweet chocolate chips. In our soft spices here, we have, let's see, which is which here. We'll start from this end. We have cardamom pods, pepitas, parsley right out of the garden, marjoram, oregano out of the garden, tarragon, basil dried out of our garden, and Mexican oregano from Poblano Mexicano. In the second row, we have white peppercorn, cloves, star anise, allspice, cumin, ginger, and sesame seeds, as well as a cinnamon stick and whole nutmeg. So we're going to take those, and we've already prepared some garlic, onions, and shallots here. First step is going to be to take the dried chilies and toast those. So we're going to heat up our pan over here. Already had it preheating before. Yeah, do we have a flame yet? There we go. Heat up our pan here, a dry pan, and we're going to take our these are the pasillas. These are the the guajillos, and these are the anchos, dried chilies there. We're going to put those in the pan and toast them down really nicely. We'll come down to back to those in just a moment. I will turn on the fan because it definitely puts some chili into the air. Those chilies are toasting nicely. We're going to speed things up with a torch on top. You can actually burn the chilies, light them on fire. The chili oils release and flame. In fact, some of recipes call for them to be completely ashed to add a smoky texture to the smoky flavor to the complex flavors, sabor complexo of a mole sauce. There's lots of different kinds of moles, but this is particularly the Oaxacan style. It's got plenty in there. I'm going to turn the fan back on even though it's noisy because, like I said, these are releasing those chili oils into the air. And we'll give them another minute or two to just cook down beautifully. Turn them over, get both sides, and then they'll be ready to be put aside, and we'll go for our spices. Chilies are flaming nicely, and they're about ready to pull off now. And we'll take the stems off and take the seeds out, most of the seeds, not all of them, and come back to the spices. We've pulled aside our chilies now, so now we're going to toast the spices, which allows those flavors to come to the front. We've got our peppercorn, we've got our cloves, we've got our star anise here, we've got our allspice, we've got our cumin, we've got our ginger, we've got our sesame seeds. We're going to do more later, sesame seeds. We've got our cinnamon stick, we've got our nutmeg, our cardamom pods, our pepitas, pumpkin seeds, our parsley, marjoram, oregano from the garden, tarragon, our basil dried from our last year's garden, and our Mexican oregano, our almonds, toasted almonds, toasted pecans, toasted walnuts. We're going to keep the Cacao Nibs and the chocolate. Those will go in later as we're preparing our sauce. I can turn the fan off now that the chilies have finished. So we're toasting those up just to release the flavors. That will be the spices. 25 ingredients going in here. That we've got the 3 chilies and 22 spices. Not to mention the chicken and the chicken stock and some vinegar. And I'll probably add a little bit of this habanero coffee, because the last dish we cooked with that, it added a nice touch to that. And a mole can stand a little bit of coffee in there. In fact, some moles are a little more coffee flavored. So we're toasting up those. I can smell the spices getting released. Give it another stir or two. Yep, cinnamon's getting brown. Parsley's drying. Nuts are toasting. The chilies have all been prepared and toasted there. I do need to cut the stems off and take out the seeds, get them prepared. Maybe I'll chop that cinnamon in half so it can get inside. There we go. Spices are wonderful things. You know, you understand how places like the Spice Islands and Indonesia and the West Indies, and how they were so important to making life tastier. I think that's good on that, and I'm going to turn that pan off and turn the fan back on so I don't smoke out the house too much. Like I said, a little bit of ash is not a bad thing in a mole. It adds layers of smokiness. Okay, be back in a moment. Next step is sauteing up the onions and caramelizing the onions, shallots, and garlic. A little olive oil in there. And we'll put our shallots, our onion and our whole garlic cloves in there. And we'll cook that down, get that nice and caramelized. And while I do that, I'm going to get the chilies prepared, and we're getting close to putting our mole sauce all together here. So we're processing the chilies here, getting out most of the seeds. Now that they're nice and dry and crisp, it's very easy to remove the seeds. They just basically come right on out, as well as some of those veins that are attached to it, and pulling those out. We may add in some of these back in the final mix once we taste it and see how much heat it has. Because we're using three different types of chilies, each one has its own flavor: the Pasilla, the Guajillo, and the Ancho, and it makes a very nice depth of flavor, which is something I'm big on. I like to have my flavor complex, I guess I should say. We're going to take some chicken stock here that we've made up and put these chilies down in there and start to rehydrate them a little bit. There we go. Our onions and garlic are sizzling away, and shallots over there. There we go. We've got our toasted chilies in our hot chicken stock there. I cooked up a whole boneless chicken yesterday. Slow cooked it. Again, from our wonderful butcher, Albert Street Butchers. Danny gets us some really good products there. And so we got our chilies down in that. Our spices are over here ready to go. Our chocolate on the side. And we'll still take a couple of minutes for our onions and shallots and garlic to brown. A little stir. Not too much longer. We'll get the NutriBullet ready, which is what we'll grind everything up in. And back in a moment. So we cooked up our whole boneless chicken last night. Cooked it up with onions, celery, and tomatoes, and some mushrooms. And we're going to put that in the oven to start warming it back up, and we will take some of that, that way we can access some of that chicken stock should we need to further flesh out the mole sauce. This stuff's starting to get nice and brown on the onions, and we have our spices here, our chilies here, and we'll be putting that all in the NutriBullet with a few other little dashes to get our sauce prepared. So we're ready to start putting everything together. We're going to dump our chilies that have been soaking in our chicken stock there, and we're going to take our spices, which have been nice, and spices and nuts which have been nicely toasted. Almond got away. At this point, we're going to put in our chocolate, our bittersweet chocolate, and our cocoa nibs from a organic cocoa farm in Panama, just by the Bay of Dolphins. So we got everything in there. Now we add our onions. I think it's going to all fit in there. Our onions are nice and caramelized, and our scallions. I'm not going to worry about the garlic paper because it's all going to get ground up. This is making exactly the portion we need here. Get all the little brown pieces there. Chicken's now in the oven. A few little pieces got away. We'll throw those in there. I'm going to add a dash of our habanero coffee Yucateca sauce. You better shake that first. You never know. There we go. And we're going to add a bit of apple cider to just give it some liquidity and some tang. And let's put it all together. Here we go. There we go. The mole's mixing up. We're going to let it go till it spirals down and gets everything. It's got a nice color. This is what we were looking for. 25 ingredients, 26, 27. Sometimes you forget one, and I just realized Stacy drove all the way to Ballarat to get me plantains because they're not available here. Plantains are a wonderful, wonderful, almost banana, and we got them slightly green so that they will add a lot of texture to this. So I'm just cutting off the end. Don't need to cut off the skin. It's not like a banana where it peels so much. Actually, I can do a little peeling there. There we go. Peel that back. Maybe I'll cut it off. That'll be easier. Plantains are beautiful, healthy products. They're especially when they're green, which is what they often use for plantain chips, substitute for French fries in the Caribbean and Mexico. And plantanos are full of antioxidants. And that's going to give us a little more thickness to the sauce. You can see the mole there. It's beautiful, pasty kind of sauce, which is what we were looking for. I'll taste it now. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Oh, and it does have some fire. I left enough chilies in. I don't think I'll be adding any more chilies. Plus, obviously, we added that habanero coffee sauce, which that's pretty mild, actually. So that wasn't where the heat came from. But having 3 different kinds of chilies in it obviously adds a lot of heat. And there we go. Plantano is listo. The plantain is ready. Got to throw that back in there. Since we're adding a little more of the plantain, we're going to add a little olive oil, and we can add a little more apple cider vinegar here because it's it's not overly tangy. There we go. We'll mix that up one more time, and our mole sauce will be ready. We'll just strain it. Getting that plantain all mixed up in the batch. We don't want to waste these chili seeds, toasted chili seeds, so I'm putting them down into my original Master Foods chili jar. The more spices you can get for free, the better. We do spend a lot on spices, but we try to grow as many as we can. Okay, we've got everything all blended together. Now we're going to strain this off into a pot here, and just to make sure everything's nice and smooth. It made a nice portion of mole for us here, and we'll get all the goodness out of here. Probably didn't have to strain it, but this will give it a beautiful, smooth, creamy texture. We will cook it down a little bit, and adding one last ingredient to it, which is a little odd. We're going to add some bread to it. They recommend just any good old kind of basic white bread there. Got everything in there. I'm going to strain this down through our strainer here. Oh, she's plopping through. Might take a little bit to get that all the way through. And our chicken's been roasting, reheating in the oven. We roasted it yesterday, slow cooked it. Oh yeah, she's plopping through there. Mole is not far away. Mole, mole. You know, this has been a staple dish in Oaxaca since Mayan times, pre-Aztecs, and recipes have been refined down through the centuries, the millennia. Oh, look at that stuff. That's perfect texture, Stace.
Ooh,
you want to taste it?
Oh yeah. Sure.
Taste it over the sink over there. Stacy's going to give it a little finger test.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And keep straining this through. Could you get me out some of that white sourdough bread you got, Stace?
Yeah.
And this will congeal down the flavors for the final last time. And our chicken will be ready, and we'll have it plated in just a moment. How about just a little sprinkle of water in the glass there? Just give me a little piece of water too. Yep, just go around there. Get all the goodness, because we're going to cook that down anyway. And I think we got all that nice stuff
That
there.
is wonderful.
One more little sprinkle of water. One second. Okay, go ahead. Around the edges. Okay, cool. Yep, we're going to cook that down now. Actually got we're doing so many Cocina Mexicana dish cooking here. Our stove has been working overtime, and to avoid splashers, I got one piece of kitchen equipment I did not have, which is a splatter screen. Serve those up as usual with a tortilla. I'm going to put some blue tortillas in the oven. Sauce is cooking down nicely. How's that toast, Stace? I think I heard it.
Yep.
We will chop up this toast. Perfectly cooked. Stacy got so hungry while I was cooking that off camera she had a piece of Vegemite toast. Now we will come back over here and put in our bread. That's already cooking down nicely. Crush the bread in there. If we had a potato masher, that would be ideal. This mixing in. Look at that texture. Creamy. And while that's cooking down, we're going to toast some sesame seeds to put on top of the mole. There's already some inside the mole, but this gives it a nice visual presentation. So we'll be toasting those up. As soon as you hear them start to pop, then you know they're ready. Don't wash that yet, Stace. I may run this through the NutriBullet one last time to get that bread mixed in nicely.
Okay.
Or I could use a hand beater. Do we have our hand beater, a battery-powered hand beater?
Yeah.
Okay. And we're going to beat this up. Get the bread mixed down in. And the sesame seeds are starting to pop, so we know we've got them good to go. I'm going to turn the heat off on those. They're also turning nice and brown toasted sesame. And we've mixed in, still got a few little pieces of chunks of bread I need to mix in, but I'll do that off camera and be back in a moment. So we pulled our chicken out of the oven. Our mole sauce is ready. I've chopped up some chicken here. Now it's time to put it together. Zoe's coming over for piano lessons soon, so we got to get our lunch underway. Little Mexican rice on the side. Put our chicken here. Got it chopped up so it's nice and chunky. Got our corn tortillas, our blue corn tortillas, ready to go. That's a perfect bowl for, ooh, there's some nice skin. Chicken skin has the most flavor. There we go. Ready for our mole sauce over the top.
Yeah. It's smelling amazing. Beautiful.
It is. And we just really drench it with that because that's That's what it's all about. Of course, we're going to have plenty of mole sauce to put away,
Yeah.
and or to have another meal before we head overseas. Now, for the final creme de la creme, toasted sesame seeds that will go over that.
Oh, that looks lovely.
I know you like your sesame
I
seeds.
do. Very good for you. They're high in calcium.
Yep. I'll give you extra sesame seeds. They're still popping. We'll save some of these for the next time we eat it. We'll probably eat several days in a row. And our blue corn tortilla here. And we are ready to go. Chicken mole. You know, you can buy a mole sauce. We have one over there already prepared, but it's a lot of fun putting it together.
Yeah.
And provecho.
Let's eat.